Hello, everybody. Well, we're all very excited if we're Beatles fans because we know that any time now we're due to get an official announcement about the Let It Be box set on CD and vinyl. Well, already, if you've been following online, we already have some news and we already have some track listings and material that's going to be on the project. So I thought I'd make my video where I talk about that. I'm first going to discuss with you the details of what's going to be on these super editions. And also, after that, I'll talk about a little of the controversy, a little of the complaining, a little bit of concerns that fans so far have been putting forward on the internet. Okay? So now, as far as we know, it looks like the release date for this item is going to be October 15th of 2021. And we're going to be getting, as usual, a bunch of different variations on this. We're going to have a vinyl set that's going to include 4 LPs and one 12-inch EP extended play disc. And it's going to have a 100-page hardcover book with an intro by Paul McCartney. Then we also have the 5 CD set that's going to have 5 CDs and 1 Blu-ray, so it's a 6-disc set in a box. Also, and it's going to have, as far as I understand, also a 100-page hardback book with Paul McCartney intro. The 4 LP set is on Amazon right now. Well, 4 LP plus 1 EP box is on Amazon right now for just under $200. And the 5 CD, 1 Blu-ray box is on Amazon now, just under $140. Of course, as we're talking US currency. And I don't really know what else for sure is going to be out yet. I have a source that lists 1 CD version, a single CD version, and a 1 LP version. That's a little odd to me because usually they'll release 1 or 2 CD versions or 1 or 2 LP versions. So there might be more on that. Excuse me, early morning and allergies kicking in. So let's talk about the list of what's going to be on these sets. Now, I'm pretty sure it's identical between the LP and the CD sets. The only thing is, of course, if you get the CD set, you're going to get a Blu-ray with really enhanced Blu-ray sound on it. So the album itself, you're going to have the proper album from Let It Be of 1970 on a Blu-ray. Now, as far as the listing I'm going to do here, this is taken from the LP set. Okay, so I'm going to read it as if we're talking vinyl LPs, even though the content is pretty much the same on the CD. So the first LP, LP1, is going to be the original Let It Be album that we know. It's going to be newly mixed. It's newly mixed by Giles Martin and Sam O'Kell. And this whole thing, by the way, this whole project is going to have 27 unreleased recordings when we get to it. All right. So LP1, the original Let It Be, newly mixed by Giles and Sam. And LP2 is going to be Get Back Apple Sessions. All right, so here's some session material. And what's on this side, there's some speeches in there, some spoken bits in between, which we're going to get some talking. And then we're going to have Two of Us, Take 4, Maggie May, Fancy My Chances with You, Can You Dig It, For You Blue, Take 4, Let It Be, Please Please Me, Let It Be, Take 10, I've Got a Feeling, Take 10, Dig a Pony, Take 14, Get Back, Take 19, One After 909, Take 3, Don't Let Me Down, the first rooftop performance, Long and Winding Road, Take 19, and finally, Wake Up Little Susie and I Me Mine, Take 11. All right, so that's disc 2, LP2, vinyl LP2. LP number 3 on vinyl, called Get Back Rehearsals and Apple Jams. And the content there is some rehearsals of All Things Must Pass, the song. Rehearsals of Gimme Some Truth from John. We have a rehearsal of I Me Mine, She Came In Through the Bathroom Window. Rehearsals of Polythene Pam and Octopus's Garden. We have Get Back, Take 8. Let It Be, Take 28. And then we have a bunch of jams. The jams will be of songs Oh Darling, The Walk, something, and something called Without a Song, where Billy Preston figures in. I believe it's just John and Ringo and Billy Preston on that one. That's LP3. LP4 is going to be the long hoped for Glyn Johns mix from 1969. You know, Glyn Johns did, I think, four different mixes. From what I understand, this could be the first mix, the first one that he did, 1969. We know before Phil Spector came in ultimately. This is pretty much the same tracks from the standard album we all know and love, except the songs are in different orders, and the versions, I mean, are different. They're gonna sound different, but the only new songs added to the Glyn Johns mix that weren't on the original Let It Be album will be Don't Let Me Down, and also Teddy Boy, Paul's song, that wound up on the McCartney debut solo album, and a medley of I'm Ready and Save the Last Dance for Me. So you'll get those three items mixed in with the songs you know usually from Let It Be, okay? So that's LP number 4. Now we have an interesting item here. There's going to be a 12-inch extended play disc, an EP, which only has 4 tracks on it. We'll get to that a little bit as we talk about the CD box with this EP. Got people a little bit in a dither. All right, so the EP is going to have Across the Universe, an unreleased Glyn Johns 1970 mix. It's also going to have I Me Mine, same thing, Glyn Johns 1970 mix. So then you're going to have Don't Let Me Down, which is a new mix of the original single version. And also Let It Be, likewise a new mix of the original single version. Now, I went through that pretty quick. That's the content that we can see when we look on different sites. I've seen it on Amazon for sale already. Now, let's talk about the controversy, okay? Let the complaining begin, if you will, because that always happens. We, as Beatles fans, are very picky. Everybody's got different ideas what they want, what they hoped for, blah, 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 what they think should have been on this. So let's have a little fun with that. First of all, I'm of two minds when it comes to complaining, you know. Depends on my mood, I guess. I mean, I'm a complainer by nature, you know. I complain. I see both sides. First of all, for the complaining, I don't think of it so much as complaining. I look at it as weighing the pros and cons, you know. I mean, that's what I do here. This is my channel. What I do is I talk about the good and the bad, what I like, what I don't like, what I think they could have done. You try to be a little more critical and analytical. That's the whole point of having, if you have a site like me, that's what I'm trying to do. So I understand people talking about the shortcomings and people praising the good things. So to me, it's okay to talk about what you want or what you don't like or like. You know, the other way of looking at it, on the other hand, is just be grateful for what we're getting. You know, that happens too. It's like, look, I'm glad to have this. We're grateful. We want this stuff, and at least we have it. And I want to mention right here, don't forget, we don't know for sure what's going to happen later on, because a month later, in November, we're going to get the Disney Plus app, where we're going to have the 6-hour visual documentary. We're going to have the Get Back documentary, right? And we don't know at this point if there's going to be an accompanying soundtrack album. So as I talk about people's complaints that have been stated so far here, keep in mind, we don't know if we're going to get another collection of music. We might have another soundtrack documentary to go along with the film. We don't know that yet. But I'll tell you, there's lots of material that we are familiar with, those of us who are longtime collectors. Lots of Let It Be material that's not here, needless to say. Now, a lot of people are going to whine about that, because I know people who wanted 6 CDs. So let's have 60 CDs, 80 CDs. We should put the whole thing out. You know, put out all 50 some odd hours, everything they have. Put it all out. Make it like, you know, a mammoth, massive set. I don't agree with that personally. I'm going to tell you, it's all a matter of opinion. Your mileage may vary, but much of the bootleg stuff we have was like from the month or so. It's just not very good to listen to. I mean, that's my opinion. It's interesting as a fanatic who wants to just dissect everything, but as a casual listener, it's not very interesting. Much of the stuff that's bootlegged are the earlier dates from the Twickenham Studios sessions, where they're kind of like marred by having like a lot of technical talking over it, countings, slate numbers marked for film. Those are basically guides for, I guess, the audio for the film and everything. So as you all know, with all those beeps and whistles and talking, it doesn't really make the songs very listenable, although they've always been interesting as a curio. So I'm going to tell you all right now, based on what I'm seeing here, keep your bootlegs. If you have bootlegs, unofficial recordings, keep them. You're not going to get all that stuff here. And in my case, and this is just my subjective opinion, I really don't care because, I mean, John Lennon called this, I'm going to paraphrase a little bit, but John Lennon called this material biggest load of badly recorded shit with a lousy feeling to it ever. And I agree. You know, it's lazy. It feels kind of just mumbling and goofing around. There's not really much energy in a lot of this stuff. I don't want to sit there and hear 60 hours of this stuff. I can't listen to it now as it is, and I like to hear everything, but there are limits. So I happen to agree with John about that. Some people feel that John Lennon was coming from a personal, emotional place. You know, he was more annoyed at the situation, and that's why it reflected his opinion. But even George called this the winter of discontent for him. This. So anyway, I don't mind that we're only getting a sampling of stuff. You know, we can go back to the boots if we really have to listen to it all. And other people are complaining about the 4-song EP, especially on a compact disc. I've heard people already say, wait a minute, we're getting like 5 CDs, and one of these CDs is 4 songs? You know, you could, or, you know, why do you need only 4 songs on a CD? Well, it looks like they're trying to put them out kind of structured that way. You know, you have LPs and blah, 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 and then you have an EP, a 4-song EP, kind of like the Beatles collection that they put out. You know, they have the Beatles EP collection, and they're all like 4 songs on a disc, even though a disc can hold 80 minutes of material or something like that. A lot of people think that's skimpy. It's going to bother a lot of people. At this point, I don't really care, but I think it's going to be really cool to have a 12-inch vinyl LP. Well, I say LPs, EP, a 12-inch 4-song EP on vinyl. I think that's cool, and they're going to have their own different sleeves and things like that. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, a lot of people are going to be complaining about this on a CD. Now, a lot of people are going to be disappointed because we're not getting the entire rooftop concert. As far as I know here, the only thing you're getting is one pass of Don't Let Me Down. Now, the entire rooftop concert is a little over 40 minutes long, okay? And this is my opinion again, but guys, I mean, I have the rooftop concert on audio on a bootleg. The rooftop concert to listen to in its entirety, for me personally, is kind of dull. You know what I mean? You're talking about 2 songs they do 2 times, they repeat them twice, and then you're talking about all kinds of technical jargon and instructions and stuff, and in between the songs, which kind of slows things down. So I think this is something that's really cool to watch. In other words, I'd be happy to see the entire rooftop concert, breaks, breakdowns, technical chatter, and everything on film. It might be interesting to watch as part of the documentary, but to listen to on audio, I don't need it, to tell you the truth. So that's another complaint people have. For me, I was kind of surprised that they didn't contain, this doesn't contain the original 1970 Let It Be cut, the Let It Be movie from 70 by Michael Lindsay Hogg. I was a little surprised about that. Now, the talk has been in the Beatle camp that they keep trying to shut fans up by saying eventually you're going to get the original Let It Be movie released at a later date or something. I thought it would have been a good idea to stick the Let It Be movie just in the box. For anybody who buys the box gets the movie. They don't have to, if they're trying to avoid the original Let It Be film, you can always make it that you can't buy it exclusively on its own. You have to buy a box to get it. But also, the more I think about it, it makes sense to wait. If they're going to put Let It Be out, the film from 70, it makes more sense to wait till after the premiere of the brand new Peter Jackson 6-hour documentary. Excuse me. I think it makes more sense to wait on that. There's no use souring people to it right away. I mean, the Peter Jackson version is going to be a much more uplifting, fun experience. Then after the fact, they can put out Let It Be. But originally, I thought they might try to sneak it in the box and just be done with it. Right? doesn't really, no point in releasing it first before the Jackson documentary. Well, anyway, that's my thoughts right now. By the way, if you've hung on this long, I'm going to be doing a live stream today where I'm going to be discussing all these things we just talked about. You can join me for a live stream. I don't know the time it's going to be. It's going to be sometime, I'm predicting late afternoon Eastern time. But I'm not really sure. We'll see how that goes as we all wait the official announcement about this release. Thanks everybody for watching. Take it easy.